President Biden's long-awaited plan to cancel thousands of dollars of student debt is getting praise and fury on both sides of the aisle. CNN's Ryan Young talked to some students who will benefit from the plan and some who won't.
My campaign for president, I made a commitment.
President Biden's announcement canceling student loan debt for millions of Americans created instant, strong reactions. Is it too much or not enough? What's your initial reaction when you heard that finally being announced?
I was like, great. That means I don't have to pay on what I owe that's left.
This is a lot of money given out to a small segment of the population, and they didn't do anything to really deserve it.
I have mixed emotions about it.
For small business owner Brian Longsberry, the forgiveness plan isn't the right move. His family tightened their budget to make sure they kept paying their loans during the pandemic.
We have done the sacrifices, the no vacations, and no out to eats, and now I'm on the other side. The reason it upsets me so much is, are we setting a good example?
Brian believes that the students should think about the financial impact before taking out giant loans that will affect their futures.
It's a little upsetting that we kept paying and struggled and through everything, and then other people just gave up and quit, and I wasn't raised to quit.
The president's plan could affect up to 43 million Americans and forgives federal loan debt of up to $10,000 for people making less than $125,000 a year. 27 million Americans with Pell Grants will be forgiven up to $20,000. According to the White House, over 45% of borrowers, or roughly 20 million people, will have their debt fully canceled. It's a plan President Biden first spoke about on the campaign trail.
I'm going to make sure that everybody in this generation gets $10,000 knocked off of their student debt.
It was Mateo Gomez who asked candidate Biden about his plans to help Americans his age achieve their dreams.
I was asking him overall, does the American dream still exist?
He points to the president delivering on a campaign promise despite wondering if more can be done.
This is a first step for something. When looking at the campaign promise, he did say that, so I could say check.
As the president's plan continues to receive mixed reaction, one thing is clear: the high cost of college is something many believe needs immediate attention.
Education's too expensive.
We need to go back to the core of why is school so expensive.
I feel like that there's a bigger problem, like the cost of education.
As former students digest the president's move to cancel billions in loans, for some, it's a welcome relief.
I have the debt. I'm paying back the debt. So I will take it and keep it moving.
Ryan Young, thanks so much. All right, my next guest is one of the millions of Americans who have student loan debt, but no degree. Joining me right now is Katie Candler. Katie, so good to see you. Hey, you had one class left, right, at Jacksonville State University before the pandemic hit. And then tell us how that affected your plans.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I first started, and whenever I first decided to take my break, I originally thought, after 1 or 2 semesters, after the pandemic was over with, I'd start to come back. And then as I tried to come back in the fall of 2021, I was told that I had to make at least a $700 payment on my student loan debt in order to come back in the first place. And, to a low-income student, that might as well be $1 million. So I had to take an even longer break, and I ended up coming back for about 1 single semester. But I still owe about $7,800 in debt. So once this gets wiped away, I'm going to be on an even playing field for the first time in a long time.
Do you think you're going to go back to school? Because now, with the Biden plan, I understand that you will be able to completely clear yourself of your previous loan for college.
Yes, ma'am. I am hoping to go back to school and go ahead and just finish it all off.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on that. So what kind of a load did this lift off you to hear that you now have this possibility?
It was astonishing, truly. I wasn't sure if I was going to qualify at first, and then I saw that I had to make at least $125,000 or under $125,000, and I just automatically knew that I was going to